Welcome everybody. It's great to see a great crowd on this Monday before the show in St. Louis, of all places. So this is SC25. We've actually, I think, been coming to SC for the past 20 years. So we are certainly veterans, like Alex was saying, in HPC. And we're close to getting veterans in AI because, we've been involved with Nvidia and AI and other players for the past now 9-10 years already. It's kind of crazy. We started literally 9 years ago engaging with Jensen and Nvidia trying to map out what would become the future of AI. And today, 9 years later, literally the world has changed. It's just started to change, right? This is just a start. It's pretty incredible. Over the past 12 months, my life has completely unpivoted. I was looking into happy retirement, and here happens AI, right? This is the way, this is how you're going to change the life. This is how you're going to basically impact the world. And this is our career, right? This has been our life for the past 25, 30 years. And so it's super exciting. So no, we're not retiring. We're actually doubling down. And I thought I was working before. Now I'm actually starting to work, right? I'm literally 27. Like Olivier is laughing. All the other guys are laughing because if you had a travel schedule as an executive, now you have a real travel schedule. You're basically everywhere, all over the world, because the world is developing at the same time. It's no longer just the US. It's no longer Europe. It's no longer just Japan. It's the Middle East. It's South Asia. It's the Nordics. It's every country now has its own strategy, its own importance, and we're going to need to be obviously present and successful across to deliver what we aim. So super important, right? We've been, and by the way, we support an AMD as well. We support Intel. We support Cerebras. We support the other players. But clearly, Nvidia is the behemoth and the winning game today. And we've been deploying across the board for the past 10 years, across every deployment. Number one, we were the first joint solution 9 years ago on DGX-1. We were the first Nvidia qualified storage partner for DGX SuperPod. And those specs had to be diluted for any other partner in the marketplace to be able to be referenced. So today, we still deliver the best performance, the best metrics across the board, both in terms of pure performance, access, latency, metadata, and so forth, at scale, small, medium, large scale. Nvidia started basically buying 8 years ago on Selene first, right? Each time they deploy new platforms, H1, it was the A100, then the H100, then the H200, then Blackwell, and now Vera Rubin. All these systems, engineering systems and deployment systems, are being proven at scale inside Nvidia. And I'm proud to announce that we actually received a pretty nice and large amount of POs to deploy to support the testing and the engineering large system with Vera Rubin already, right? So we're doing it with Blackwell, and now we're doing it with Vera Rubin. And this is super important, right? Because there's continuity, there's management, ease of deployment. Everything is pretty much tagged on, right? And what we're seeing is really on the latest large scale, right? Nowadays, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 GPU. This is common, right? It's become, as the data center space becomes more available, those are coming in. And we're able to deploy in a matter of days and weeks, right? Typically, a week or 2 weeks, we're done. And this is kind of the recipe because you are investing in massive amount of either taxpayer dollars or corporate dollars or so forth. You want to be able to make a return and use these technologies very, very, very quickly, especially with the fast rate of change of all the chip level, right? If you don't use your H200s or your B200s or GB300s and so forth, they're going to be, obviously you're not at the peak of usability, and then you have Vera Rubin coming in. That is a new standard. So we support all the GPUs, we enable them, we actually accelerate them, right? So data is important because data is really what differentiates you from any other environment. Everybody can buy GPUs, right? Everybody that has some type of dollars investment can go out and buy GPUs. The difference is in the data. And that's not obvious, right? It's actually not obvious at all because day one, you're only looking for GPUs. I meet with customers and say, well, we don't even know what our data storage strategy is going to be. Well, you should have a data storage strategy because that's going to make a difference at the end of the day, 6 months, a year, 2 years, or 3 years down the road, because really what's going to make the difference in the success is the data, loading, analysis, the amount of data that you're going to have access to basically make your infrastructure faster, better, cheaper than anybody else, right? Creating more tokens for less, using less power. That's one side. But the other side is to basically being able to leverage all the data, right, that will enable you to be more efficient and delivering faster and better intelligence with AI. So again, we are already ready with Bluefield 4. Infinia runs on a Bluefield actually, right? So our technology Infinia can run on the edge on as small as a Bluefield DPU. So we're very proud of our relationship, right, with Nvidia. We're creating a relationship with AMD as well, but clearly we are ingrained with Nvidia. So we have actually, so sovereign AI is happening everywhere, right? Each country is looking at delivering, localized value, goes from government to corporation to R&D to helping the public have easier access to government and so forth. And this is happening basically in pretty much every country. And over the past 12 months, we started deploying several of them. One in India, one in Korea, one in the Middle East in Abu Dhabi, South Asia, in Europe, in France with Mistral. So in the US with some of the government labs, obviously. But clearly, this is actually becoming and is going to be a very large part of our business moving forward. And those AI factories, are going to generate, like Jensen says, intelligence, right? They're going to be basically making a difference and creating massive value for each countries out there, right? You want to leverage your R&D, you want to leverage your education, you want to leverage the government, you want to leverage everything. Everything is going to have to be more efficient, faster, better, and so forth. So clearly you don't have a choice, right? AI is a tidal wave, and we're just starting because the startups, right? The next wave is going to be robotics. You have startups now in the video, in generation, in movie generation, in medical, that we haven't seen yet the effect of, right? That are basically training, doing a lot of training, and then they're going to move to inferencing, but doing a lot of training that we haven't seen in the market yet. So this is just starting. So what have we done past 12 months? So a lot of you are using EXAScaler, right? So EXAScaler is the platform for HPC, is the platform for AI, right? Is the platform used for training at large scale, right? So if you're thinking multimodal, if you're thinking 1,000, 10,000, 50,000 or more, or 500,000 GPU running and really getting the optimization from the GPUs for training and multimodal training, no matter what the size of the data is, there's only one, it's EXAScaler. What we've done over the past 2 years, and is really making it easier to use, easier to deploy, easy to upgrade, right? It's very easy to upgrade at this point on EXAScaler, online updates, multi-tenancy. We've improved multi-tenancy. I don't know how many of you guys need the multi-tenancy factor, but in the cloud world, it's super important. And so now EXAScaler is fully multi-tenant ready. Very important, right? AI factory. So again, we have all the reference architectures. And the difference with DDN is because of our HPC mentality, we can talk numbers, right? A lot of our competition, they talk about high level. They have a lot of great slides. But we actually talk about what are you delivering, what are you committing to delivering in terms of performance, numbers, and so forth. I'm not sure who's going to really answer besides DDN. So it's for you guys. And so what we see is that clearly when the RFPs are well written, it goes to DDN. When the RFPs are high level, you can go to anywhere. And the performance is just not the same. The value of your overall investment is not the same. Infinia, this is our, the technology that we started deploying earlier this year. Super exciting because we think we've done it right in terms of a very wide data ocean KV store that is an object that will have file POSIX early next year. We will have scale out NFS next year. So there's really kind of a roadmap built to it. But what we've demonstrated today is the fastest object, which becomes really a T1 access at any scale, running on platforms from all the various vendors, be it Supermicro, Lenovo, Dell, HP, and so forth. And we have design and reference architecture with Evident as well across. So the other thing that we've done is DDN has been very much an engineering centric, right? So we used to, go to the HPC deciding, life used to be simple, right? We would go to technical decision maker at the university or lab. They would look at it, they would crunch the numbers, do the test, POC. We would come on top and then we would offer a fair deal, right, through the RFPs and so forth, and here we go, and everybody was situated. Today, the world is very different. There's many different people and different factions involved in a large compute and infrastructure decision. And so DDN is now involved and is really deploying. We have a much wider go-to-market strategy and a much wider go-to-market team involved with resellers and VARs like Worldwide Technology, Mark III, SHI, global system integrators, right? That's for the enterprise side. What are basically the workloads? So we're heavily involved now in AI factories with Accenture, Deloitte, Cognizant, HCL, to mention a few. This we didn't do 2 years ago. And now we're very deep into them, identifying hundreds of use cases that are enabling to the enterprise for AI. Server and hardware vendors, Supermicro is here, Lenovo, Asus, Dell, HP, and SanDisk. I would say, Supermicro and Lenovo and Eviden are very strong partners of ours. Dell and HPE are, I would call them competition, but we do work with them, and they do agree to sell and resell DDN when you ask for it, or when we cooperate, actually. Something else new, we now have a P1 offering inside Google. So if you want to test EXAScaler, you can directly instantiate on GCP and have access to EXAScaler, right? And this is a Google offering, P1 offering with the security access, you can use your dollars if you're using. Who uses GCP in the room? How many of you guys use GCP? Okay, so you have a handful. So you can directly instantiate and see the differences. I think later James Kuma will show you some of the results we're seeing. They're actually outstanding. So it's all about what we're talking, and that what we basically challenge you as a community to really verify it is GPU efficiency of your infrastructure, creation of tokens, right? Being able to create more token with less, being able to be safeguard of the power and how you use it. Give us slightly more power, we'll give you X amount of performance more. And so partner with CoreWeave, Nvidia runs a lot of their testing as well within CoreWeave. Lambda similar, Scaleway is a NCP in France. Mistral is a very large LLM model maker in France again, and Sovereign AI. Vultr is one of our strong partners, and we're involved in a bunch of robotics companies there as well. So again, the go-to-market is widening, the company is growing, we are privately held and profitable, but we now have the backing of Blackstone. We received an investment earlier this year of 300 million at a valuation of a few billion. But what was really important is for us to show that we're here to stay. We're here to deploy a company to basically deliver on our promises with customers and stick by it like we have over the past 25 years. So we've actually had some fun accolades. We even got named Entrepreneurs of the Year by EY. It was kind of cool because 15 years ago, I went to one of the events and said, wouldn't it be cool if one of us would be an Entrepreneur of the Year one of these days? And you know what? 15 years later, we did that, which was kind of cool for Alex and I. But a lot of, even Gartner, if you look at Gartner, that was actually an interesting and surprising report because we're not usually seen as visible in the enterprise community. And in the Gartner report recently in the AI world and community, we came out first. American company, first outside of China. Huawei came out first, worldwide, right, because of the footprint and so forth. But basically, we came out second ahead of all the other guys for AI and enterprise. So I think we're becoming recognized. I think that what we want to do is have discussions and deep discussion on how we can better enable your business more than talk about us. If you guys have meetings with us, if you don't, please do set up a meeting with us. But we want to learn about what you guys are doing. We want to learn about how we're going to enable you. We want to learn about how we're going to involve and partner with you for the next few years because you're going to need the flexibility. Things are going to change. They're going to hit. And you need basically platform and a data storage partner and data intelligence platform that can basically move alongside with you in a fluid fashion.
Nvidia is powered by DDN. Yeah. It's great partnering with you. You build amazing technology, really amazing technology. And without DDN, Nvidia supercomputers wouldn't be possible. And now we're taking our partnership into a new frontier, into the world of enterprise.
Thank you very much.